Good evening. Welcome to my channel. My name is Mary. If you're coming across this channel for the first time and you like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing. If you are my returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back to watch my content. I love you from my heart and thank you so much. May God bless you. My dear Kenyan parents, how is the going? How is everything? The holiday is here. Are you on leave or are you at work? I want to have a conversation with parents generally. Let's talk about one huge monster in the room. And this is what is called sleepovers. While I was growing up, I never heard of a sleepover. Or I don't know whether I was a timid girl, or is it because I was brought up in a rural setup? I never heard of this. I never slept at a friend's house while growing up. Maybe until when I went to university. But nowadays it is so common. And if I take you back to my own experience while growing up, I don't remember friends coming to our home to sleep. And here we are. Like, it was not something that was so big. And I failed to understand as a teacher why parents entertain this aspect of sleepover. My dear parents, please, if you can avoid allowing your children to go for sleepover, the better. Let everyone stay at their home. Let them spend time with their own families, their own siblings, parents, and everyone. There is no need for sleepover because it is in sleepovers where a lot of challenges are picked from. Imagine your child going for a sleepover in a family that people do not have, they don't have, good manners, if I may use that word. I was thinking if this is appropriate. Okay, so imagine your daughter or your son going to a home where people take alcohol openly, like it is a norm. Once they're done with their meal, they just bring out glasses, take alcohol in the sitting room, in the living room, dining room. Something that is normal. Imagine if that is not normal in your own home, and that is where your child is going for sleepover. What is that child picking? They'll pick that and they'll start doing alcohol. It is in sleepovers where teenagers are introduced to premarital sex. And if you're keen as a parent, observe your teenager. Once you hear there's something to do with sleepover, I'll put it in quotes. Once you hear there's something to do with sleepovers, just take your time and do your research. And you may be shocked. You will be shocked. In fact, you'll be shocked to your roots. You may realize that these teenagers are going for a sleepover in a house where even the parents have traveled. Maybe they have gone up country, or maybe they're out of town for work, and therefore they now have their own freedom. And you'll realize that it is not only your child who is going for sleepover in that particular place, but it is a group of teenagers that are going there. And that is why we say, as counselors, sleepovers are not something that should be entertained in any family. Let everyone sleep in their own home. What is it? Let them just sleep in their own home. Let your children be contented, with their own space at home. Let me shock you, dear parents. You may have a very innocent child that has never ever engaged in sex. But once they go for sleepovers, that child will start becoming sexually active. Ask me why, and the answer is this. It is only in sleepovers where teenagers, and research has shown where teenagers, about 99.5%, are introduced to premarital sex. Take your time as a parent and do your research well. We need to understand what is happening around us. That is the place where they'll be introduced to premarital sex. And the reason is simple. These teenagers are very smarter than parents. Even sometimes they are smarter than teachers. It is only that you learn how to maneuver and get hold of them. They'll arrange for a sleepover in a family house where parents are not present. and they may end up even having group sex. Pregnancies are going to arise. Sexually transmitted diseases, in extreme cases, even HIV and AIDS, can be picked in sleepovers. I'm told in sleepovers, sometimes even teenagers are introduced to satanism, devil worshipping, because that is the place where they have all the freedom. There's a teenager who went for a sleepover, a girl. When she went for sleepover, she was given fruit juice. And to be very specific, it was orange juice. And she was so happy. Little did she know that the drink was spiked with drugs. And she became unconscious. And a group of boys, gang, raped her in a sleepover. What happens to such an innocent girl? What happens to her psychology? What happens to her mind? What kind of person is she going to turn out to be? As a parent to such a teenager who has undergone such an experience in a sleepover, what would you do? Wouldn't you feel guilty? Wouldn't you blame yourself maybe for allowing your child to go for a sleepover that probably was not necessary? Because sometimes it is not necessary. Sometimes parents are lazy. If I can use that word, they are lazy. They feel tired. And when they see their children going out for sleepover, they're like, I can now breathe in and out. I can just be me and be myself. But the truth is, sleepovers have really, really ruined a lot of teenagers. And that is why I come to you, and especially you as a Kenyan parent. During this long holiday, don't allow your child to go for a sleepover. And if that sleepover is necessary, then accompany them. Finally, as I wind up this video, if your child really, really needs to go for a sleepover, like if it is a must, you should start doing something around it. Find out what is the push. What is pushing her or him? What is it? Who is behind it? Why are they insisting? As a parent, always have the why. Have the why. It is not that I'm an old-fashioned parent, no. But I know out of experience from teenagers that I handle, I know what can happen. I know what has happened to teenagers under our care. And therefore, as a parent, you need to be very, very careful. Very, very careful. Dear parent, what do you think about this video? Is it informative? Please drop your comment here on the comment section. I would love to hear your feedback as always. Remember to like this video. Watch the video up to the end. I recommend it to a friend. Thank you and goodbye.